You want to find a company that really is concerned about your health. And so I don't know what you do in countries where codex rules and you're probably up against pharmaceutical companies. I don't know. It's just really going to be a battle. Going to be a battle there. So you do the best you can. I love teas, no question about it, but you have to heat them up. I like raw herbs when you're trying to get to the GI tract and you want to get to the liver or pancreas. I use the raw herbs or the dried herbs or powdered or capsules. That if you want to get in systemically, I like the tinctures because they absorb well, little digestion's needed, whoomp, suck it right in. The alcohol actually takes it to a cell much quicker. So there's a real benefits for alcohol, but it does yield you 98% of that herb. Glycerin or vinegar, you only get 60-65% of the herb. And in this, and at my level of work, there's no way I can just give you half of what that herb can do. There's just no way you want to spend your money and only get half the power that a alcohol tinctured herb could do. But again, that alcohol has merged with the chemistry and vibration of the plant. That makes it strong and does make it carry to a cell, but it definitely is powerful. And I'll address this. I think you asked me about this hernia in other places, where your husband had a steel like sutures or something embedded into the skin, and he's having problems with that. I can't advise you other than to whoever did it, go have them look at it and see what's going on there. I can tell you if you want to repair hernias, you have to understand that it's the connective tissue that you're losing. Now, you can have a genetically weak area in the body like that just from past people with family members with parathyroid weaknesses or damage and trauma to tissues, and work that weakness down through the genetic tree. But ultimately, you want to hit that parathyroid gland, use Calma Plus, that's a glandular, and really hit that parathyroid and load up on kelp. And try to you can use a belt, and half of them are a little funky, but try to not have too much pressure on that. Whether the body, I don't know, you have to ask your MD what metals they used. Titanium probably being the best. Alkaline metals, the body's not going to respond to. Acid metals, no way. And this has been the problem in dentistry. They've used acid metals. So then the old caps, they couldn't put them down on the gums because they get deteriorated gums. Well, acid, hello! Acids deteriorate, and so it's taken a long time. So I don't know in surgery what that metal was, the wire, whatever they used, the metal sutures or whatever to hold that together. But and the other consideration, of course, is why do you lose calcium or the connective tissue integrity? And that's going to be acidosis. In other words, your problem's in the kidneys again and not moving the lymph system on that particular side. Or it could be both, but you're going to go after that lymph system because ultimately you've got to get that acid out of those tissues or that'll never heal properly, and he'll always tear even if the metal's accepted by the body, because that's what broke it down in the first place. You have to always think what's causing this problem and fix that. And then you've got it. And then the symptom will fix itself. Yes, the body could always have a little low-level inflammation around that metal. If it's acid metal, then I suggest that surgeon rethink his strategy and find some other, use the wire mesh or whatever mesh they use now. The old ones caused cancer and was toxic according to some of these newspaper stories I've been reading. Yeah, you know what? If one doesn't want to get into the glandulars here, someone asked me if they could feel the fear and the confusion of the animals. I tell you what, I don't know. We live on a planet. It's hard to tell about these things. The humane termination of life is obvious, but remember, nothing dies. But the way that life is terminated should be considered here in all ways. The same with oneself. I should be able to take something and just terminate myself if I couldn't have an out-of-body experience consciously. Conscious out-of-body experience, you pop out, you're gone, you lay the body down, and you're done. But for most people, something has to jar them out of the body. So I'm not You know, I don't like the way we slaughter, if I could use that word. It's probably more appropriate. Slaughter animals. I don't know how these labs work in some of these ways. I've been too busy to sit down with them too much. A lot of labs now making glandulars out there. So when you say kidneys and adrenals need help, are you suggesting take kidney and adrenal formulas? Absolutely. You know, when I'm addressing tissues, I mean diet and herbs, because I love those too. And remember, herbs are foods in this country. This country is a great country, and it has certain things that are great, and that is the consideration that herbs are foods, not medicinos. And I think that's important to understand, that these are foods with a punch. All foods have healing properties to them. They're all unique. Some of them we've hybrided them down so much that who knows. But each food has a certain reason that it exists beyond we just like the flavor of it. So everything has its effect. A good example was berries tend to be all good for the endocrine glands. So if you can't take the formulas, and this was one of the questions, if you can't take glandulars, what herbs would you use? Well, you would use herbs specifically for those tissues, or those endocrine glands. When I make a tincture, I try to pick the strongest herbs that I can find, that I know, or that other herbalists know, that can affect that tissue. I don't waste my time with what I consider maybe not the strongest ones. And then out of those, I have to feel that formula. I have to make sure that all those herbs I use love each other, that they're compatible, that they feel comfortable with each other in a formula, and that they'll work together as a team to help you. And then I also consider other related effects in a formula that I might want to add to that formula. Like in a kidney formula, I might want to put something for the adrenal glands in there, right? Yeah. Okay. The CEO of Standard & Poor's, who, yes, downgraded. Did they fire him, did they? You know, this country needs a kick in the butt. I don't care about the investments, just money. This country, somebody has to shake this rotten tooth loose here in Washington, D.C., because can't continue down this road. You know, it's time. Get out. Let me see. This guy's Dave Wood, going to meet me in September 19th. Looking forward to that, my friend. Let's see. My wife and I will be there in the console. Okay. Thank you, my friend. See, from we were talking. Yeah. I talked to this young lady, Super Patty Lynn, on a grape fasting. It's hard, but things are moving. Good, sweetheart. Yeah, you know what? I think those that view these videos, you guys are so good because you're changing your You know, it's all about changing your perspective about what you're doing. Yeah, it can take your body through some hard ups and downs. It's funny. I can put everybody on the same program. One person will go into a healing crisis like that, and another person could take months. I've had people on this program for months, and they don't have a healing crisis. So I suppose a lot of it is how tense you are inside and how stressed you are, your attitude, your angers, your happinesses, all this stuff is involved, you know. So I always say when I'm talking about wearing the robe, I mean take it on like that's your next new buddy. I love these grapes. Oh, every bite is good. And you know, because you have to change your attitude, because if every bite is, I just can't do another one, the process of getting well could be much longer. So you want to enjoy what you're doing, or don't do it, you know. Don't force yourself to do something you don't want to do. Understand when you're doing it and enjoy it and jump into it and take it on. Some people, the same person, Super Patty Lynn, my question is, my sister has a goiter. She has had it for years and no problem. Well, you know, this is what I love about MDs. We can just sit there and watch it. And, you know, well, you got a little tumor, we'll just watch it, and then well, because they don't know what it is or how it's formed or anything else. We don't watch anything around here. If we watch anything, it's watching it go goodbye. You know, kiss that goiter goodbye. What is that goiter? What is a tumor? What is a cyst? What is a boil? What is a pimple? You know, someone asked me some condition. I forget what the name of it is. I never did know how to pronounce that one. But little tumors all over the body, you know. What do you think's causing that? If you realize that the human body is predominantly nothing but cells and two major fluids, and those two major fluids are blood and lymph. So these two major fluids are called the interstitial fluids, and these fluids are 75% lymph and 25% blood. What do you think tumors are? Do they growing outside of that tissue and those two fluids? No, it's those two fluids. And what's happening when you see something backing up? Don't you see a swelling? Absolutely. The swelling, and then a tumor or a little boil or a little cyst. Where are they coming from? You know, when this system isn't working, it's backing up. Dealing in acids, the body loves to isolate. It protects itself. You've got to realize the overriding consciousness here is the human body. It's a very aware organism. It does everything it can to protect itself. Most of the symptoms we see, except before the actual acidosis and the damage it does, is the body's effort to protect itself. Colds and flus, elimination of mucuses, diarrhea, vomiting. These are all ways the body protects itself. Forming of tumors and pockets and stuff like this. It's the way the body protects itself, you know. And you have to, once you start addressing the causative factors, then the body lets it go and says, okay, here, you can have it, and gets rid of it. So it's that simple. Same thing with the goiter. Get with it. Get the kidneys. Get the GI tract. Always kidneys, lymphatics, GI tract, and endocrine glands, and particularly in this goiter case. Hit it hard. Get on some fruit fasting and get this goiter out of there, or what is a tumor? Acid fluid, right? And so cells, they can only take acid hits so long. That phospholipid wall theirs can only handle acid so long, that HDL wall. And then intracellular acidosis is mutation time. So really need to get this out. Sitting and watching a tumor isn't my idea of something that's very smart at all. Because the end case will always be the same. Good, thank you for the gallbladder thing. I heard about a supplement, and you don't recommend that because chemistry is too complex and meets the problem. Now, what about B12 and vitamin D on winter? I live in the north. I don't care. If you guys want to take B12, you take B12. Vitamin D, the people don't get out in the sun. Okay, I'm okay with B. I'm better with D3 than I am B12. I just don't care. If you want to take it, okay. Is it necessary? No way. D3, maybe. Yeah. Move south. Come to the promised land. Yeah, that'd probably be Costa Rica or Mexico or somewhere where you could actually get a tree-ripened piece of fruit. Oh, do I miss this? Gravity clinics. Oh, you finished the detox kits. You know, I appreciate you carrying our herbs and working with that, sweetheart. Good job on yourself. Yeah, good. And it's interesting. You had a great healing crisis, because I think what you have to realize when you're working with people, their symptoms could get a lot worse. I had what do you call it? It just left my head. But it's where the skin and the muscle things just start choking. Scleroderma. And she was just exemplified this case. She was, I think, in Indiana or Ohio, but a scleroderma case, young woman. Scleroderma, you just start choking you off. Your skin just squeezes you like a sponge. Well, acidosis, of course. And so she was